Welcome to Vantage with AI. Today we're taking a look at Microsoft Lens, a brand new text-to-image model from Microsoft that's getting a lot of attention, and for good reason. Lens is a 3.8 billion parameter text-to-image model built to deliver high-quality image generation efficiently. And that efficiency shows up not just in training, but in the model size itself. The BF16 version comes in at just about 8.21 GB, the FP8 version is only 5.56 GB, and GGUF versions start from around 2 GB. That makes Lens incredibly lightweight and fast, while still aiming for strong prompt adherence, high-resolution output, and impressive visual quality. Microsoft has released Lens in 3 variants, each designed for a slightly different use case. First is Lens Base, the original supervised base model. Then there's Lens, the main RL-tuned version, focused on better image quality, stronger prompt following, and cleaner overall output. And finally, Lens Turbo, a distilled version optimized for speed, capable of generating images in as little as 4 steps, making it especially interesting for faster workflows and rapid iteration. Under the hood, Lens combines dense caption pre-training, mixed resolution learning, multi-layer GPT text features, and the Flux 2 semantic VAE, which helps it handle multiple aspect ratios, resolutions up to 1440 by 1440, and strong multilingual prompt understanding. Before we begin with the workflow, you'll first need to update ComfyUI to the latest nightly build from GitHub. At the time of recording this video, the current public release version 0.22.0 doesn't yet include all the features required to run this workflow properly. I've added a link in the description showing how to update ComfyUI to the latest nightly build, so you can follow that if needed. If you're watching this later and a newer official release is already available with support for these features, then you can skip this step and continue with the workflow. Once your ComfyUI installation is updated, we're ready to move on to setup. Now let's go through the models you'll need to download to run this workflow. First is the Microsoft Lens model itself. You can download whichever version best fits your hardware. If you have enough VRAM, you can use the BF16 checkpoint for full precision. If you're looking to save memory, the FP8 version is a great option and runs much lighter. And if you're working with very limited VRAM, there are also GGUF quantized versions available, with sizes starting around 1.5 GB, making Lens surprisingly accessible even on lower memory setups. Next, you'll also need the GPT-OSS20B text encoder, which Lens uses for prompt encoding. And finally, you'll need the Flux 2 VAE, which is required for decoding the generated latents. To make setup easier, all of the download links are included directly inside the workflow, and I've also added them in the description below. And while you're down there, if you find these workflows helpful, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support the channel and lets us keep bringing more AI content your way. Once everything is downloaded, we can move on to workflow overview. The workflow is divided into 4 main sections. First is the models section. This is where you load all the required models, including the Lens model, the GPT-OSS text encoder, and the Flux 2 VAE. Next is the control section. Here you can define the width and height of your output image, and also choose which model format you want to run, whether that's the standard Safe Sensors version or a GGUF version. After that comes the prompt section. This is where you enter your detailed prompt describing the image you want to generate. The more clearly you describe the scene, style, lighting, or subject, the better Lens can interpret it. And finally, we have the sampling section. This is where the denoising process happens and the image is generated. Here, the workflow processes the latent, applies the sampler settings, and produces the final output image. For recommended settings, if you're using Microsoft Lens, use 20 steps with a CFG of 5. If you're using Lens Turbo, set it to 4 steps with a CFG of 1. These are the settings recommended for each model and should give you the best balance of quality and performance. Alright, now that the workflow is ready, let's run a few tests and see how Microsoft Lens performs in terms of image quality and generation speed. For this video, we'll be testing the 2 main variants most people will likely use, Lens and Lens Turbo. We'll compare them side by side. For our first test, we'll use this prompt to evaluate some of the areas that really matter for portrait generation, including facial realism, fabric texture, skin rendering, background bokeh, and overall low-light portrait quality. Let's generate it with Lens and Lens Turbo and compare the results. Looking at the first test, Both Microsoft Lens and Lens Turbo perform very well. The full lens model at 20 steps produces a slightly more refined image overall, with softer skin detail, smoother bokeh, and a more natural-looking finish. Lens Turbo at 4 steps comes surprisingly close. It captures the mood, lighting, and overall composition really well, with strong facial detail and fabric texture still clearly preserved. The main difference shows up in the finer details. Lens has a slight edge in realism and overall polish, while Turbo looks a bit sharper and more contrasty. Overall, Turbo holds up impressively well for just 4 steps, while the full lens model gives a bit more detail and refinement. For our second test, we'll use a product photography prompt focused on transparency, reflections, glossy materials, product composition, and overall lighting control. Let's generate this with Lens and Lens Turbo and compare the results side by side. Looking at the second test, both Microsoft Lens and Lens Turbo handle this prompt really well. The full lens model shows slightly stronger detail in the glass edges, reflections, and water droplets. The transparency of the bottle feels a bit more natural, and the lighting across the amber glass looks a little smoother and more refined. Lens Turbo again comes very close. It preserves the overall composition, glossy reflections, and dramatic studio lighting extremely well, especially considering it's generating in only 4 steps. The main difference is in the finer details. Lens has a slight edge in realism and clarity, especially in the reflections and refractions through the glass, while Turbo looks just a touch softer in comparison. For our third test, we'll use a packaging design prompt focused on text generation, label design, typography placement, print texture, and overall product packaging composition. Let's generate this with Lens and Lens Turbo and compare the results side by side. Looking at the third test, both Microsoft Lens and Lens Turbo do a strong job overall. Both models handle the minimalist packaging style really well. The paper texture, folds in the bag, and clean studio presentation all come through nicely, and both keep the overall premium branding aesthetic from the prompt. The full lens model has a slight advantage in typography placement and overall layout consistency. The text feels a bit cleaner and more intentionally integrated into the packaging design. Lens Turbo still performs very well, especially for 4 steps. It preserves the overall composition and branding style closely, with readable text and strong packaging detail. For our fourth test, we'll use an action-heavy motorsport prompt focused on motion blur, sense of speed, rain particles, wet reflections, and complex lighting. Let's generate this with Lens and Lens Turbo and compare the results side by side. Looking at the fourth test, both Microsoft Lens and Lens Turbo handled this scene really well. Both images capture a strong sense of speed, with convincing spray behind the tires, wet track reflections, and dramatic lighting from the rear brake light coming through the mist. The full lens model feels slightly more cinematic overall, with smoother motion blur and a bit more depth in the atmosphere and lighting across the scene. Lens Turbo again comes very close, preserving the composition, rain effects, and reflections extremely well while generating much faster. The main difference is in the subtle details. Lens has a slight edge in realism and overall scene cohesion, while Turbo still delivers a very strong result with impressive speed. For our fifth test, we'll use a large cinematic fantasy environment prompt focused on large-scale composition, depth, architecture, atmosphere, and storytelling detail. Let's generate this with Lens and Lens Turbo and compare the results side by side. Looking at the fifth test, both Microsoft Lens and Lens Turbo produce very impressive results. Both models handle the scale of the scene really well, with strong depth, detailed architecture, and a clear sense of atmosphere throughout the image. The hanging lanterns, layered staircases, and warm light shafts all come through beautifully. The full lens model feels slightly more detailed and cinematic overall, with a bit more complexity in the architecture and environmental storytelling across the scene. Lens Turbo again holds up very well, keeping the overall composition, lighting, and sense of scale remarkably close while generating much faster. The main difference is in the finer environmental details. Lens has a slight edge in richness and scene complexity, while Turbo still delivers a very strong result with excellent composition and atmosphere. There are many more tests we can perform with this extremely lightweight, fast, and versatile model, but we'll wrap it up here for this video. Overall, Microsoft Lens is a really interesting release, especially considering the image quality it delivers at this size. Whether you're running the full Lens model for maximum quality or Lens Turbo for faster generations, both give very solid results across a wide range of prompts. I'd love to know what kind of results you get with your own tests, so please share them in the comments below. Let me know which version you tried, what prompts you used, and which one worked best for your workflow. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support the channel and helps us keep bringing more AI workflows, model tests, and ComfyUI tutorials your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.